Morning, everybody. I do a quick video this morning. We had some storms roll through the other day, and as I had said on my previous video, we just had a new air conditioning system. Had a new air conditioning system put in, a generator. We did the remodel in the bathroom, and none of these projects when it's planned. There's a hitch in every one of them. Somebody not doing their job. And so, why would anything change? We're sitting there Tuesday, and there's rumors of storms coming, possible tornadoes, all that. And I'm like, wow, am I going to be able to use my new generator for the first time? Within a couple hours, the answer was yes. Well, in the last video, I explained how the electricians didn't put a battery in my generator, so I had to figure that all out on my own, take it apart and find out, oh shoot, there's no battery in it, it has to have a battery. So did all that. When I did all that, on the top there's a breaker, and I had that breaker turned off, and when the power went out and my generator didn't come on, it hit me. Shit, you didn't kick that breaker on. So it's raining hard. Oh man, it's blowing, it's raining. So I do what I gotta do. Put on my big heavy stuff. Got the key to the generator and went out in the middle of the rain. Lifted it up. Bam, hit the breaker. All the lights came on in the house. Yes, because it was running, but the breaker was off. So go inside. Now look at this. Got power. No stress. No problems. A couple hours goes by, man, and this storm's blowing through, and it's raining, and water's starting to stand in the yard. It's gonna flood me, and boom, power went out. Yep, generator quit. Just quit. Now it's not raining so hard now, but it's just raining. So I go out and I lift the lid, and I'm like, what the hell? Trying to start it back. It's got an error code. So I call tech support. Like, well, it's got low RPM. It's either your propane or it's like it's not a blackout, it's a brownout that it's putting a little bit of power to your unit, so it doesn't want to turn on. It's like, no, we don't need to turn on. There's power there. That's not enough. Type of deal. So I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Kathy makes her way home from Beaumont during this storm, which power's out all over the place. Traffic's terrible. She gets home. She's like, "What? My generator not working." I don't have a clue, man. I don't have a clue. So we just went to bed. Woke up in the morning. Power's still out. All my neighbors around me. Generators are running. Mine's not. And so, morning there. Doing a live stream. Hey, doggy. Come on, pup. Come on, David. Huh? I don't have Fred. I don't have nobody but these three. Go, Seven. And so, I get up. I go out to my generator. Look at it. It's still same thing. Trying to start it. We'll start. Go over to the propane tank. Brand new 500-gallon propane tank. Pop the little deal off of it. Open it up, and I'm looking at the gauge. Well, the needle's buried underneath, and I don't know if it's buried full or if it's buried empty. You know what I mean? So I assume it is buried empty. This is Come on, 7. Get in here. So this is 5:36 in the morning. So I call up my propane company, and they did have an answering service, and I'm like, yeah. And I tell her the situation, and she's all, okay. I will get a message to them, and within about probably 20 minutes, the lady calls me, and she's like, yeah. She says, Mr. Garman, I'm sorry. This is my fault. I forgot to put you on my list, and we didn't get you filled up. And I'm like, well, that's a hell of a deal. I'm sitting there in the middle of a blackout, and you're like, oh, sorry. You know, we can get somebody out there this morning. And I'm like, oh, why can't you get somebody out here now? Because, I mean, hang on, guys. And I'm like, look, y'all were supposed to come fill this last week. I was out of town, and I told y'all I won't be in town. But y'all need somebody to be here, and y'all like, no, tank's right here. We'll come fill it up. You'll be good. My receipt, I paid for it. It's all paid for. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. You're a new customer, and I overlooked you. It was a crazy day. And I'm like, how do you think my last 24 hours has been? I'm sitting there in the dark, living by candles. Everybody's staying in the living room around the fireplace. Jeez. So they came filled it up yesterday. And our power just came on last night sometime. We went to bed. I went to bed about 9 o'clock, and the power was still out. My generator was working. It was all working great. I had power from there on. It was all good. But I couldn't believe how many drop balls, hiccups, mess ups, just people not completing their jobs they're hired to do, just half-assing it. Where am I? There they are. Sorry guys. Y'all know me, I'm snotty in the mornings. I get my Kleenex. But it's just amazing. None of those companies, not one of them, came over here and did their job the way I expected it, and and earned their money. Not one of them. Every single company I dealt with, they dropped the ball, and I'm just standing there going, "Why me, Lord? Why me?" And then the cherry on top, we with the RV. Took it over there. And of course, they didn't know we were coming. Nobody knew nothing. Well, next day, a lady calls me and says, yeah, hi. That's my fault. Yeah, I had I had your whole thing in process, and here it comes. People, I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. People want to lie about this. She said, but I was so distracted. I had to go to my grandfather's funeral, and I usually don't work on weekends. I was going to do this as a special thing, and I'm sorry. This was my fault. I'll overnight your paperwork, and you can sign it, send it back. I'll be good. So, what am I say? What am I supposed to do? Okay, bring it up, send it over. Well, that was Monday. They should have been here Tuesday. They didn't make it Tuesday. Called her Wednesday. Said, yeah, hey, papers didn't make it. Do what? Really? So she said, let me check the tracking. She checks the tracking. And of course, nope, it didn't go out on Monday. It said it would be delivered yesterday by 7 o'clock. So the papers came yesterday. Morning, dear.
Are we back on real power?
Yeah, power came back on sometime in the night. I don't know when.
That's what I figured.
Right. But, yeah, so I got the stuff. Got to send it back today. We but we are glad we got that generator. I mean, geez, within a week. Wow, no way. They're just gonna start doing blackouts, rolling blackouts on you guys, huh? Well, what would they do to you guys if you got a generator? Oh well, they probably wouldn't let you. Probably wouldn't let you have the propane and all that. So yeah, there's Kathy. Everybody saw you in your pink naughty deer.
I don't care.
Don't care. Wow. And well, Derek, you'd be glad to know that in South Africa, I believe that's where Lee Charles is. They're starting. They gave them a timetable for their power brownouts and rolling blackout.
California, yeah.
No, that's this guy's in South Africa, and it's everywhere. We got more oil than we've ever had. More oil fields. We could produce more. We can drill more. We can do more across the board, efficiency wise, everything. But why would they do that? I know y'all don't have, y'all know y'all are suckos. I can't believe that, Lee. I can't believe y'all have done that to you. Have let your countries do that to you. Put you on solar. Solar and wind. Oh my God. That's one of the biggest scams ever. I got a friend that we've talked about it, and I don't know about other places, but one of the big problems starting to come about now because of this wind turbine programs is the ones that are taken out of service. They don't know where to put them. They don't know what to do with them because they're so big, and they've been burying them. They've been burying the blades. And my buddy, we were talking, those are made of fiberglass, and there's no reason you can take something like they already have these box trucks that shredding companies that'll come get your papers, and they have a big shredder on there, and they shred all their stuff. You put a big industrial shredder on on a dump truck, and you just feed those blades in, shred them. You go out on site, shred these blades, and then turn your stuff into a recycling center for a profit. He and I are thinking about that. We're working on that. We're really noodling on that hard because out in West Texas it's starting to get bad, you know. Oh, I know it's not you, it's the government, but Lee, you are the government. You voted them in. Well, I don't know how it is there. I don't. Yeah, y'all don't have much of a choice. We don't either. We have selections, not elections. It's it's tyranny everywhere, Lee. I just hope you can, like I can, find a small town, be able to live in peace. Nobody mess with you except for the occasional, paperwork that clogs us up with government, you know. Oh man, dude, come on over to Texas. We got a place for you. I'll set you up. No problem. You shouldn't have to live like that. You shouldn't have to live like that in these modern times with all of our industrialization and modernization and mechanization of everything. How come people in developed countries are going without electricity for 11 hours? Wow. I assume you have a backup. Oh, wow. I can imagine that 2 years ago when in that bad winter deal, we had those rolling blackouts, but that was only for 2 days. Who did?
I don't know. Probably 7.
How could it have been her?
I know what's the diesel because we didn't get our bed.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm sorry, dear. Easy, Betsy. Yeah, so, man, I'll get this, dear. my friend Lee says that they go sometimes 11 hours without electricity. Government just shuts it off. Yeah, come back on soon. If you don't have a generator backup, you're dead in the water.
I think they're looking for food.
I bet they are. I'll feed them here in a little bit. They know the game plan. Trying to get you to feed them. Good. I'm glad you got one, Lee. Oh, and that's another thing. My generator, I ordered it through my brother, and he works with this one distributor, and they sell Honeywell, and it's a Generac generator, but it's a nice gray case. Looks better than the Generacs that are beige. It has a nice gray case and it says Honeywell on it. Well, the electrician that hooked it up, I'm like, yeah, you come start this thing up and let's run through it. He's like, well, that's a Honeywell. I never put one of those in. What? It's a Generac. It just got a different case on it, man. It's not like it's an alien spaceship here. It's the same thing. And people do anything, get out of work. Just anything. No, you think, Lee? You think it's going down worldwide? You think? They seemed to be doing okay in Davos the other day, last week. No energy worries there. There were no rolling blackouts there. You know? Y'all know what I think. Those of us who are believers, those of us who understand are boys, don't kill each other right here. Go outside or in the garage and kill each other. But when you're in the faith, you walk in the Word, it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Just don't lose your head. Be smart. Take care of your family. Prepare. Pray. But I was thinking about all those things, every single one of them that happened. And all these people not taking responsibility, these people not doing, the job they said they were going to do, just people not following through. I think it happened to me because I can keep my cool. I stayed patient. I didn't get mad. I asked pertinent questions. How can this happen? What are we gonna do now? Let's just get this fixed. Type of stuff. But I think a lot of other people almost cried yesterday. I almost cried. I was like, man, what else? What else is gonna happen? Come on, Stanley. Say good morning, Stanley. Stanley just had to get up. But the whole responsibility thing, and I know other people have noticed it too. Businesses are just less and less inclined to do top-notch job, and when they fall short, they're kind of like, hey, looks fine to me. Just that's what I promised you. Load shedding. And gosh, Lee, as well as I do that free energy, the energy's out there, and we know that they're taking it from the air, and we know they are manipulating us and controlling us with energy. They've been saying it since the 70s, talking about this climate change and energy. Look what they did to us here with our gas shortages in the 70s, and just the whole environmental bull they've been pulling for years. And thank you. Stan is great. Stan is fitting in with the family just fine. Stan does good. He's a suicide jockey, man. This dog, gosh, if I'd have got him as a puppy and known it, he's one of those little dogs that he would be great at the little at the obstacle course deals. You should see him. They sit on the back of the couch, and I've got a doggy fence that's 3-4 feet at least from the back of the couch, and it goes and it keeps us a border, and everybody stays in that side. And I step over the gate, come in the kitchen. Next thing I hear, click, and here comes Stanley. He suicide dived off the couch over the fence. I haven't caught him yet, but I hear him. And when you look at the situation, you're like the most narrow, shortest jump is to the left, but there's a sideboard there, and then there's a post, and he doesn't have that much room in between them. If he lines it up just right and jumps anywhere else, he's got 6-10 feet to jump, man. It's crazy. It was like when we got Baxter out in West Texas. I had a baby gate up in the door separating them, and we didn't have him a couple of months. I go through the gate and I'm in the kitchen. Next thing I know, like down there's Baxter. How the heck did you get over here, Baxter? Take him, put him back over there. And finally, one day, I'm walking out of my bedroom and I go to turn into the kitchen, and he's right beside me. Before I open the gate, this dude, like a ninja, he jumps, hits all 4 paws off the door frame, bounces left and hits and kind of rotates halfway in the air and lands on all 4s. And I was just like, what in the world, you dude? You're bad. And from there on, I go in the kitchen. Anybody go in the kitchen, he jumps the fence. The Baxter's coming. But here, it's the same size gate, same size fence, and he won't jump it. He won't even try. Hadn't even tried yet. Kind of weird. But Stanley does the flying Walinda freaking routine off the back of the couch, over the fence. I hope I catch him doing it sometime. I got to see this. Because out in the backyard, we have a deck, and they'll come running, and instead of going up the steps, they just jump. And I mean, they launch straight out, jump up on the deck through the rails, and then go down the steps to the gate. They just go through the rails. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Baxter, why he won't jump that fence now. But I guess that was my update. Just crazy stuff happening to me. Man, my first time my power goes out and somebody drops the ball, you know. I'm just worried now about my truck. Oh my God, what's going to happen there? What is going to happen there? My truck's supposed to be ready in probably 3-4 weeks. Middle to end of February. That'll be exciting. Can't wait. I cannot wait. I went to, talk about weird stuff. Yesterday, I was, or the day before, I was out in town. Right? They do. My dogs do. But I was in town running errands and stuff, and I'm sitting there and I'm literally thinking, okay, I need to go to State Farm. I got to go there and I got to cancel the RV insurance. And I'm thinking to myself, all this stuff I got to do at State Farm. And the phone rings, and it was State Farm calling me saying, hey, you need to come in and we need to talk about life insurance, your life insurance and this stuff. You've reached a threshold deal. I said, man, we're on the same wavelength. I'll be there in 5. And they're like, what? And I said, I was just thinking about you. I'm coming your way. I'm literally going to be there in just a few minutes. No way. Yeah, way. And so that was cool. That was cool. Good vibrations. See, that's what's weird out here, Lee, where I'm at. This is This is oil mecca. All the oil refineries are around here. No oil fields. It's all the oil refineries up and down the coast here. Port Arthur, just Beaumont, everybody all the way up and down the coast here are nothing but refineries. And it's not in Texas a problem of enough power. It's like what happened in the winter thing. It was the government's environmental czar that told Texas, you can't ramp up more power, because if you do, then you're going to be outside your boundaries for your environmental boundaries, for your CO2, for the environmental stuff we've put on you. And you just can't. You'll be violating the law if you do. And they told us, from what I remember, they told us we couldn't bring on more power stations online because we'd be over our allotted amount. Texas could have very easily powered ourselves. We're on our own grid here in Texas. We're the only state that is not dependent on other grids. So during that, what the federal government did to us is said, you can't turn your own on, but you can buy power from other states that are still under theirs. Well, all the states around us are having the same situation. It's a huge winter storm. And oh man, we were so mad. Our state was trying to do everything, and the federal government's going, I mean, here, like I said, we don't want to take their shit, but when our state government bows to the federal government in a crisis and says, "Okay, we won't power our state and give our citizens the electricity they need in a crisis, we'll do what the government tells us." That's crazy. Texas should have told them, "Piss off." we're going to turn on everything we need, and we're going to keep this state afloat. We ain't going to do that. Not doing it. But we did. And like I say, I mean, I got a generator, so if it, when it happens again, I'm okay. But like you say, going forward, Texas, I mean, wow. I hope we do take our National Guard and go down and secure the border. Somebody's got to. Each state, I don't know why anybody would complain. Yeah, they're all working together. But I don't know who would complain about each state that's a border state protecting their border. Federal government's not gonna. I know there's plenty of people in Texas that would just set up a firing line all along the border and all the hot spots. I know there's plenty of places. You can narrow it down because there's only so many places they can cross. Everything else is just too rough. Too rough. And so, yeah, Texas, we'll take care of that border. Just get out of the way. And speaking of governments, oh my God, my whole life I've known these politicians were crooked. But wow. They say Trump has these classified documents and it's the end of the world. They're talking, he's got nuclear secrets. He's passing, he's doing all this. Joe Biden gets caught with something. They're like, it was nothing. It's just like, the White House menu and, special things from special events. Nothing to see here. Wow. And then the deep state throws one of the biggest curves I've ever seen them throw. And this was a wild thing. When Pence came out saying, yeah, I had some. Talk about giving them their own narrative and walking with them hand in hand. Wow, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Now, like they say, all right, let's go check Obama. Let's go check Bush and Cheney. Let's go do Clinton and Gore. Why not? If this seems to be a serial problem here. But wow. It just feels a lot like 1984. It does. Not the literal year, the fictional. Because it's wow, man. They don't give a crap anymore. They're just doing it, aren't they? They're just doing it. And have you ever seen so many countries, not in my lifetime, that are in on this whole Ukraine thing? I mean, the Iraq deal was a whole different kettle of fish. Now that the stories and all the info's coming out on that, it looks like the Iraqi deal was more for artifacts, historical artifacts, than it was oil or WDMs, any of that. WMDs, however you said. It's looking like that was more about ancient artifacts, which, well, now we're never going to know what was in there. Y'all know the story. We're first ones in there in the first place. We went museums. We went and started snatching. But just crazy, man. Just crazy. I don't know how anybody in their right mind that's thinking logically couldn't look at all the evidence and go, yeah, we're in the end times. Not the tribulation, not Armageddon. That's all past. They're at the end. This is the end game. Nothing else explains it. Germany's foreign minister says yesterday at a deal I saw that we're in this. We're not going to let Russia do this. And they basically claimed they were at war. Joe Biden, he said one of his little speeches, hey, this, what this means? You know what this means with Russia doing this? And if we have to do anything, this means World War III. These people, it's in World War III already. It's more of a proxy war with a couple of little scrap going on, but wow. Germany saying they're going to give tanks and all that, puts them right in it with everybody. What are they going for? Huge psyop coming, guys. Huge psyop. From everything I'm seeing, and these people are usually pretty close to the mark, is that next big thing is going to be the digital currency, because of what we're doing to the dollar. Every single economist ever has said, if you do these things, it's going to collapse. It can't stay up. And we propped it up probably 30 years longer than it should have been. And since then, every single politician, almost to the person, except some of the lefties, have said we've got to cut the deficit. And nobody has. Ever. That's as bad as if I was running for dog catcher and I said, trust, there will not be another stray dog or cat on your streets ever again. We're going to take care of it. It's not going to be a problem. Within a year or two, nothing but stray dogs and cats everywhere. And y'all ask me, what's going on, Mr. Dog Catcher? How come this isn't working? Well, you people got too many dogs and cats. We're going to have to start limiting your dogs and cats so we can catch up to this. We're spending all the money we can. We need more money. Okay, city gives me more money to catch the dogs and cats. I catch a few. I have a press conference going, look what I did. We're on top of this, and it just gets worse. and you come to me and you go, gosh, Mr. Duck Catcher, we're going to vote you out, man. You don't do something. Hey, it's not my fault. The cat people are the ones doing it. They keep breeding dogs. Why would cat people breed dogs? Because they don't want us to be free. You know what I'm saying? It's just awful. It's just awful. Some evil people, man. Some evil people. Couldn't imagine being like that. Could not imagine it. But what is that? 37 minutes in, 6:30. Mom will be leaving here in a minute. Yeah, I mean, but it's different people, same lies. You know, it doesn't matter. You just put a suit up there and they burp, 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 wah, 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 parrot the same shit, and you go, finally, somebody who's going to do something. You got my vote, bud. And they go in, they get rich, and they don't do anything. And when they leave, they're just sitting on a golden parachute retirement plan. You know, plus now they're making millions on book deals and speaking engagements and just, oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Not an eagle, it's a buzzard. It's a buzzardly. It's no eagle. It's a buzzard. But yeah, we stick together as Christians, the body of Christ. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. But other than that, I got nothing, guys. I hope I'm out of this this little gray area I was in, where everybody I encounter is unwilling to do what they contract to do. So maybe I'm out of that. Maybe going forward, I'm going to just get the best service. Not likely. You know, everybody, y'all take care. I love y'all. Good discernment, good vibrations. Later.